welcome back to another video. So today, I don't know, I feel very confined when I am back against that wall because I just don't have a good amount of space, and I figured I would be over here, just kind of switch everything up today. So without further ado, today is palette of the week. Today's palette is going to be the Millennium Pinx palette by Melt Cosmetics, and I don't know, it looks really pretty. Probably would have been a really good palette to use for Valentine's Day, but we're here and this is the palette we'll be using today. But first things first, we have our question of the day. I wanted to start this series on my channel because I think it's fun to start an interaction with the people who are actually watching my videos, which thank you so much. But this way, if there's like a topic that there are a lot of discussions on down in the comments, then maybe we can turn it into a full video. So, question of the day is, what was the last show you binge watched? I would have to say the last show I've been binge watched was Hunter x Hunter. I just got done with that series, and now I've just been kind of watching like different movies lately and kind of just don't want to commit to a series right now just because we're getting ready to move, and I would hate to just like constantly think about like, oh well, what's gonna happen next. So I'm just currently watching movies, but the last series I binge watched was Hunter x Hunter. Comment down below what was the last thing that you binge watched, and did you finish the entire series? Did you finish just a season? And what would you rate it out of 10? So then that way, if you have any really good recommendations, I would definitely be open to checking out new shows and series when I finally am moved and settled, which I am moving in exactly a week, which is kind of terrifying. But without further ado, let's get into our palette of the week. So I have not yet used this palette. I did pull it from my unused palette section. So without further ado, I think we're just gonna jump right into it. So I do have my eyes primed with some concealer just because I had accidentally put concealer all over my eyelids, so I figured why use paint pot right now when. So let's go ahead and just get into it. So first color I'm gonna take is this pink leather, which is this light pink shade here. I'm gonna dust that all over my eyelids and see how this lays. So I've never tried I have never tried Melt Cosmetics, so I don't know how their formula is. I do have this palette as well as the 420 palette by them, but I have no idea how their products perform. What made me order from them was the 420 palette. I'll let that speak itself, but I have just never used it, which I think I will probably be using that for my St. Patty's Day series that'll be coming up. So I won't be doing as big of a series as I did like with my Valentine's Day one, but I will be doing some different green looks, so stay tuned for that. Next, I'm going to be using Flamingo Dream, which is this bubblegum pink shade right next to the one we just used. I'm going to use the same brush, just dusted it off. And this shade definitely performs quite a bit, and it is definitely a bubblegum pink shade. For those of you who are new to my channel, thank you, welcome. I am born in 92, so I am a millennial, which it's kind of funny to see like on TikTok all these Gen Zers making fun of millennials, because like, yes, I'm getting older, but I'm really not that old. So the newer generations are kind of ridiculous, which funny story. So this happened to me a while back, month or so ago, I don't quite remember, but I had gone to, where did I go? I don't even remember where I was going, but I was going through a fast food restaurant, and a kid opens the window, no mask, and it is a mask mandate in Utah, no mask, and he's like, you know, he was talking to this other girl. Obviously they weren't doing their jobs, which I think it was Taco Bell if I remember right. I'm now gonna take a little bit of Modern Love, which is this like mauve shade here. But anyways, so they were just chatting when I got to the window, and they're like, you know, I really wish millennials would die, or I wish millennials would all get together and just like, I don't know, something about dying and millennials, like almost like killing us, or just like, you know, whatever. And I'm like, are these kids for real right now? And I can't quite remember because It was just like something small, and I didn't wasn't gonna start a argument in the drive-thru, especially when I was getting food, because I don't want my food spit in. But I said something along the lines of like, there's nothing wrong with millennials or something to like that aspect, and they both just kind of like looked at each other and then like closed the little door, and I'm just like, you guys are assholes. You know, my generation, millennials, didn't just make fun of like our parents all the time or whatever generation is like right below us, and it's just like, you are just like disrespectful. That's all there is to it. Okay, one thing I will say, those first two pink shades were fine. This mauve shade is a little patchy, so I don't love that. But yeah, I'm just like, I cannot believe this right now. Like, you rude, disrespectful kids. So that was my little like millennial story. Like something that happened to me recently. Well, not even that recently, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about that shade that's just not performing how I want or need it to. Like after I like buff it out a little bit, it looks better. But I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't have to do that much work on a shade. Just perform how I want it to. There's a good amount of fallout in these pans as well. I think what I'm going to do next is take two shades. I'm going to take Ruby, oh, hold on. Ruby Spar, which is this like purpley shimmery shade. Oh, there's a lot of fallout on that. What I'm going to do is kind of focus on the middle to outer edge of my eye. A lot of fallout on my face. Let's just try packing it. Yeah, there's a lot of fallout. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit and then let's try it. Like, it's a pretty shade in the pan. There we go. Wetting it definitely makes it look very, oh wait, I take that back. What in the heck? So initially it started foiling it really well, but then it also started clumping up. Okay, let's try the other eye. Maybe it was because I already had some down and then I laid wet down. Okay, that's not as bad, but I need to build it up. Yeah, I don't know. Like this side without the shadow on it first, like the dry shadow that I laid down, looks better than the one that I had shadow laid down prior. I don't know. This is kind of a mess. And that's very discouraging and disappointing. Then what I wanted to do, and now I'm kind of nervous too, is take Rose Brunch, which is this shade here. I'm gonna wet it just a tad. I'm going to take that on the inner portion of my eye, and then I'm gonna blend the two together as best as I can. It's not terrible. This shade is definitely performing better. There's so much fallout in the pan. And that reddy shade, that last shimmer before this one, had fallout on my face. Okay, better. I'm gonna dip back into that very first, very light pink and dust a little higher up on my eyelids, and then I'm going to brush that off and take a little bit of that bubblegum pink ever so slightly and go back into my crease with it, not too high up. That's not bad. Now, something I've been dying to do, I'm going to spray another brush ever so slightly, and I want to dip into this shade Moon Glow, which is this blue shimmery shade. I'm going to use that on my inner corner and brow bone. Oh, that color is gorgeous. That pop of blue is perfect with this pink look because it's like icy blue, but not too much. And I'm going to pop a little bit that blue in my brow bone. I'm actually going to take a tad bit on my nose. I love that blue shade. It's so good. Okay. Trying to think. Do I want to put anything on my lower lash line? I think I'm going to take a tad bit, and I mean tad bit. Maybe try the shade GF, which is this navy color. Maybe just the tiny spit and tap off as much as I can, and then be very tight. Oh, I think I liked it better without this. Can I wipe this off? Yeah, I don't really love that. Kind of regret that. I'm gonna dip into that baby pink, try to buff out that navy as much as possible. I wish I would have left it alone. I liked it so much more before. Dang it. I think what I'm going to try to do is take a little bit of concealer. I think I have some concealer left on this brush. I don't really anymore. I'm going to try to cover it up a little bit because I was in love with that eye look. Well, pretty in love with it, I guess I should say. It wasn't like my favorite eye look ever. Yeah, I kind of just ruined it altogether, which that really sucks. Sometimes more is not more. As in, like, just leave it alone, Megan. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that icy blue and put that back on my inner corner because it kind of disappeared trying to fix that. Alright, let's throw on some mascara and see if this look came together. So this is our finished look. Let me pull you in. Don't mind all of my texture. So we have the baby pink, a little bit of that pink shimmer going into that mauve-y and purpley shimmer with more light pink on the top. Got the like navy for the most part worked out, but then I have that like icy blue on my brow bone and inner corner, which I'm obsessed with. Overall, I am pretty satisfied with that. I definitely want to play with this again, and kind of now that I know what to expect, I know a little bit about more how they're formulated. But I like this palette. I think it's cute. I think it is super fun and bubblegum Barbie pink-ish like color story, but that icy blue is. But that's all I've got for today. Comment any future ideas you'd like to see. Subscribe if you have not. Like this video if you like makeup content. Turn on that bell because I've been uploading daily, as well as there will be tons of moving videos and vlogs coming, so you're not going to want to miss all of that fun stuff. All my socials are linked down below. Shop my Poshmark and Mercari. Help me get rid of as much stuff as possible before moving. But that's all I've got for today, guys. Till next time.